Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube NFL prediction segment, I'm going to be giving you my pick and analysis for the 2016 Week 14 NFL matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers. Well, anyway, I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers at home in this one. I'm sure a number of people out there are going to pick Seattle because they seem to be better head and shoulders on paper. I believe they won like 4 of their last 5 games. They played very well. They did exception with that loss they had to Tampa Bay when they lost, I think it was 14-5. Of course, no touchdowns for them in that game. But you look at Green Bay right now, okay, they're 4-2 at home. Seattle is just 2-3-1 on the road. Despite Seattle being really this perennial Super Bowl contender, they have just not seemed to be as dominant to me as they have been in seasons past. Green Bay has won their last 2 games. I think they might have turned the corner and they might go on a little bit of a run now. Green Bay, the defense is actually starting to play a little bit better too. They've allowed 13 points per game in the last 2 games. So another thing too is that Clay Matthews may very well be healthier now than he's been at any point during the season, and I think that's obviously going to play into their favor as well. Seattle, to their detriment, they are going to be without safety Earl Thomas. So it's going to be a good, interesting matchup between the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, and see if he's going to be able to exploit that area of that team on the safety area where Earl Thomas would have been playing. It looks like it might be Stephen Terrell might be the person that acts as the starting safety in that game. So we'll see about that matchup. I think maybe Aaron Rodgers can do something, maybe throw into that area of the field. He might have a lot of success in this particular game in the absence of Earl Thomas. Now, the Green Bay Packers, now, despite maybe having some difficulty and struggles on defense, they are number 9 in the NFL in rushing yards allowed per game at about 93. And Seattle, though struggling in the running game, they actually amassed 240 rushing yards as a team last week. Overall, they have not been stupendous in that department. They're only number 20 in the NFL at 101.5 rushing yards per game. So it's a far cry from where they were with Marshawn Lynch. And as far as the conditions for this game, they're calling for temperatures between like 24 and 32 degrees. It's going to be at Green Bay, of course, and it may be snowing at some point during that game. So the precipitation, the temperature, I think this all favors Green Bay. I understand Green Bay is only 6-6, and it's hard to really say this is the resurgent Packers considering their winning streak is only at 2, but I do believe strongly it will be at 3 after this game. I do think that Aaron Rodgers is playing very well right now. A lot of that losing didn't have a whole lot to do with him. In the last 7 games, he has the most touchdown passes of any NFL quarterback during the last 7 games of the season. So, or the last 7 up till this point, I should say. So, really, it's going to be I see Green Bay playing with a better defense in this game. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is going to be very productive. I think they're going to capitalize on the absence of safety Earl Thomas. And keep in mind that Seattle's offense has been very sporadic. They had a game last week where they annihilated Carolina. They scored, it was either 40 or 41 points. But then the game before that, they only had 5 points. So really, you have to look at this as like which offense of Seattle is going to show up. It seems to me that Seattle has really been very strong at home. I believe they are undefeated at home, but they have struggled on the road, just 2-3-1 on the road, as I stated before. And this will be something where I see them where they're going to play well. But I think Green Bay right now, the fact that they probably will have to run the table in order to make the playoffs, I think you're going to see a little bit more desperation with Green Bay and urgency. And I think given the possible inclement weather Green Bay is going to have, and being at Green Bay I think all this plays into Green Bay winning this game, and I do like the Green Bay Packers to win at home. It should be a fairly close game. I think Green Bay's going to win by a touchdown, though. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube NFL prediction segment, and until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.